We're back this month, and we're so excited that we have Miss Consuelo with us today, this month, to kind of talk about her journey in real estate. Why don't you just kick us off and give us a little background?
Okay. Well, my name is Consuelo Souders, for those of you that don't know me. I'm a dinosaur. I've been here since 2007.
Have you? Okay.
January 2007. January 1 is when I started here in the office. And
Were you actually here on January 1?
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of great listing appointments.
Yeah.
Anyway, sorry.
Well, I might not have actually been in the office January 1, but I started. That was my official start date. So good for me, because my calendar year starts the same time my start year starts. So I'm like, I don't have to keep track of this stuff. But anyway, so prior to real estate, I actually was in, I installed software for a human resource payroll company.
Oh, wow.
And so I installed software, I did programming, I was an interface for clients when they were installing new systems. And so I programmed like general ledger tapes and 401k tapes. So I have a little bit of C in me, probably more than I really want, but I just did that. And then I worked there for about 11 years, and in the middle of that, I decided I wanted to spend more time at home with my kids. I wanted to have a little bit more flexibility, so I went part-time at that job. But then I also started a Mary Kay business.
Did you
I
really?
was a Mary Kay agent, a Mary Kay consultant for a while, because I wanted to have, it was in me. I wanted to have like some kind of control over my own destiny, right?
Sure.
But then 11 years into the business, I got workforce reduced. So I'd been there 11 years, walked out one day with all my belongings in a box, and they just don't care, they kick you to the curb. So I built my Mary Kay business. I became a Mary Kay sales director, one of those people. Didn't get the pink Cadillac.
I was going to say, did you have the car?
Well, because I decided and learned after a while that I don't really want to work with women.
Okay.
But I don't want to be in charge of women. I love women, got it, but I don't want to be in charge of women. Because women don't necessarily do what they say they're going to do. And I found that I didn't want my income to be dependent upon what these women said they were going to do. So I was looking for other things. And as luck would have it, my husband is a lender. He actually was the in-house lender at our office here before I ever even started. So he was here for like 2 or 3 years.
So he knew a little bit of the Keller Williams son.
He absolutely did. He absolutely did. In fact, it's funny, when I started in January that year, Keller Williams was in Vegas, and he got to go to Vegas with the office, and I had to stay home with the kids. So yeah, he definitely.
I think I was there.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, I think I was there. Yeah.
So, but he was a lender, or still a lender actually, and he was doing realtor luncheons, and he said, "Hey, I've got an appointment after this luncheon. I can't bring the food back home," because I was making the food for him at this point, because I was kind of like trying to figure out what I was doing, selling Aflac insurance, Aflac the duck, and I'm like, didn't like that either. So I'm like, yeah. So I did. I went to the luncheon, and there was an agent there from this office. Actually, a lot of the agents there, they were actually my Mary Kay customers, a lot of them were. And so I already knew several of them, and we got done with the luncheon, he left, we're still sitting there chatting, and one of the agents looked at me and she goes, "Why aren't you a real estate agent?" And I'm like, I don't know, like I hadn't really thought about it. And she goes, "Well, I think you'd be great." And I'm like, "Really?" I'm like, "Okay." So it was, in the back of my mind. I go home later that night and I tell Brian, my husband, and he goes, "I've always thought you'd be great." He's been my biggest cheerleader from the word go. But so I'm like, okay. So that was October of 2006. I went and took the class in November of 2006. Allentate Real Estate. Don't say anything. They're not there anymore. And then got my license in December 2006 and started here in this office January 2007, and the rest is history. Been here ever since.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah.
So let's talk about your first couple of years. New agent, new to the business. Obviously, you're a business person.
Mm-hmm.
You've already kind of shared that.
Yeah.
Sales, you're not a stranger to that. But what was your first couple of years like in real estate?
So it was, 2007. What the market looked like in 2007. I didn't really know any different, right?
Mm-hmm.
When I started my business, and I had come from, a direct sales business. So I'm a people person. I like talking to people. I like being involved. We had 3 kids. The kids were involved in sports and PTA, so I was part of all of that. So I had built this sphere, really like without knowing that I was doing that. I had a network, and so I just started telling everybody that I was in real estate, and I just worked it. And so the first couple of years, I remember like my first year I made like $55,000, and I was so excited because that was more than I had made any year when I was doing Mary Kay. Now,
Yeah.
I came from corporate background, so I was still doing better than that, but I was like, oh my gosh, and it was all me. Like, so then each year I just built the business each year exponentially, kind of like increased, and I just took control of my business, worked with who I wanted to work with, and just, you know, kind of built it that way from the ground up.
So you mentioned the market a little bit in 07. Like, think about even the first 2 to 3 years, say, going in, what were some of the hurdles that you faced? Things that you couldn't necessarily control, but yet it didn't slow you down, or it didn't stop you.
Well, gosh, I mean, I think truthfully, I was ignorant of the market. Like, even though, I mean, I knew it was crazy. Like, I knew it was crazy at that point, but especially because with Brian being in the market, he was telling me these things, but I think I just put blinders on, and I just got in and just did what I needed to do. And I've shared my story before that they talk about the tortoise and the hare. I was never the hare. Like, I do compare myself to other people sometimes, but I'm like, oh my gosh, they're like, so they just like started here and go boom, just went so quick, and I'm like, like, I am definitely the tortoise. I am like just building it slowly, and I just felt like over time I just built like this bigger, broader, stronger foundation, and that's really carried me 18, almost 19 years later.
Okay, key thing right there, she just shared, early years built the foundation that's strong, that's still supporting that business today.
Yeah, because truthfully, like, to be honest, like, last year was a tough year for me. I lost my oldest sister. She was my rock, and she got stage 4 glioblastoma brain cancer in May of last year, and she passed in August. But I had built my foundations because I kind of checked out for those months. I really did check out. Like, I had business, don't get me wrong, I had business, and luckily, I do have my son now who is my admin / TC person / kind of do everything mama tells him to do kind of thing, which is great. Because now I can say, I'm not just your mama, I'm your boss, so I'm telling you what to do. So luckily he was there to help me with that, but I was able to back off a little bit and spend time where it mattered, which was with my family, and my business was still good. I still had a great year last year.
Sure.
And so I had built that foundation, so with the people, because they were still calling me. I wasn't doing my marketing like I normally do. They were still calling me because of all the things I had built from the beginning.
Right, yeah, love that. Let's talk about resources. Like, what are some of the things you have used over the years to not only build that right foundation, but to have that consistency now that you're talking about? Systems, training, whatever.
Okay.
People.
So if people know me, like know my story, I'm terrible with giving up control. I am a control freak, definition of control freak. So it's been really hard. So I've never really had an assistant or anything the whole time building my business. It was me. If it was going to get done, it was going to be me. Now, I did have like my husband on the backside, like, putting out signs and things like that, but if anything got done, it had to be me. Having my son join me this past year has been instrumental in helping me like relax a little bit and like back off a little bit. So systems, he's actually working on getting my systems in place, and it's been kind of fun. He's been using Command, and he'll tell me, I'll ask him a question like I asked him earlier today, like, did you order the home warranty? He goes, well, if you look at Command, like on there's a tab that says, so he's created tabs, he's created those systems, so it's kind of nice. Like, I don't know why, like, hello McFly, why did I not do this sooner, right, to get the leverage? So if I could say one thing to anybody, go ahead and get the leverage. Like, you'll figure it out later on, you will get the leverage.
Well, the beauty of it is you were able to take advantage of that strong foundation in terms of leverage, to be able to spend that quality time with your sister last year too.
Absolutely.
Yeah, for a lot of folks, that would have been a massive business setback.
Yeah.
Where it would have taken sometimes years to maybe crank it back
because
up.
I really wasn't doing anything. Like,
yeah. But the business still did.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. It still happened, right? It still came. It still transacted. That's when you own a business.
Yeah.
And that's kind of the beauty of what we try to get people to understand here. We want you to be business owners, number one for that reason, but also the profitability in the business is really what starts to change your life. And not necessarily your lifestyle, but it changes your life.
Right.
And it affords you even that opportunity to take time off and spend it where quality time should be. Yeah, love that.
Yeah.
Let's talk KW specific for a moment. So obviously you've been here for a long time. By the way, everybody, Consuela and I know each other from 2009.
I
we
think it was.
determined
Yeah.
when the coaching program Bold came out. We were one of the first ones to take it, and Lord knows I needed it because
Yeah.
in 2009 the market was like a little bit more challenging than
Yeah.
07. But I think that was a game changer for me because that kept me in the game.
Yeah.
Because it taught me to focus in on the key things that matter most. A lot of it around my own mindset,
Right.
but about building skill and improving the quality of my presentations and conversations and all of it, right?
Yeah.
And so
Yeah.
Bold kept me in real estate.
Yeah. Sometimes it's about just getting out of your own mind, like
Oh, gosh.
your thought processes and your negative thinking. You know, I hate that they took away the drunk monkey because I'm like,
Yeah.
I kind of
Yeah,
like
yeah.
he lived on my shoulder for a lot. you know,
Yeah,
so they took
yeah.
that away in this Bold. I don't know why, but
Yep.
yeah, it was interesting. Steven Schleter was our
He was.
instructor.
Yeah.
Yep.
So Stephen, if you ever watch
Yep.
this,
Yep.
we're glad. Thank you.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah. So how many times have you taken Bold?
6, I think.
6?
6,
Yeah,
yeah.
I'm probably about a 6 or 7er myself.
Yeah, and I'll probably do it again. I actually was enrolled in Bold when my sister got diagnosed
Yes,
last
I
year.
remember that,
So
yeah.
I stepped out, but yeah, I'll do
Again,
it again.
yeah.
I'll do it again, and I especially want to see the new Bold that they've come out with. So
All right, so let's talk about other things like Mega Camp, Family Reunion, some of the big national things that KW puts on as well. Do you attend those?
yeah, I just came back from Mega Camp last week. And I'm excited. I'm getting ready to register for Family Reunion in Atlanta, which is kind of funny. The very first year I went to Family Reunion, it was in Atlanta. So that was 2008. That's the
2008.
last time it's been in Atlanta.
Yeah, yeah.
So yeah, I've been to quite a few. Not every single year, but probably less. I mean, I've been here 18 years. I've probably been to 15. Like I definitely go. I'm a firm believer, which is why I've stayed with Keller Williams all this time. I'm a firm believer in education. I feel like, you know, that phrase, you know, school is never out for the pro. I feel like there's always something that I can learn. And even if I go and it's just one thing, I was meant to learn that one thing that time I went. Because there's so much, it's for people that have not been before, it is overwhelming. There's so much to learn, so much to do, a lot of walking. I'm too old for that now, but a lot of walking. But every time I go, I've been in a different place in my mind, in business, and so I always pick up something different.
And the market's been in it.
The market's different, yeah.
Yeah,
So, yeah.
I'm a firm believer of just being in the room,
Yeah.
being in the right room with the right people,
Mhm.
and sometimes the conversations don't have to be formal or educational.
Oh, no.
For us, it's still learn something
Yeah,
and be
it's
around
hanging
people.
out like at a bar by the Riverwalk, having
Yeah.
a drink with somebody, like, oh my gosh, like,
Yep.
yeah.
I can remember years ago, I think it was around 2009 at Mega Camp one year, I was starting to be exposed to a little bit more on the listing side of like foreclosure properties.
Mhm.
Man, I had a lot to learn, and yet I wanted to do it more than just get the occasional.
Mhm.
And through my maps coach at the time, she introduced me to a KW agent in South Florida
Mhm.
who was doing it at a really high level. And
Florida at that time, I'm sure.
Yeah, and the Miami area.
Yeah.
We became friends. As a matter of fact, I just sent her a recruit referral just 2 weeks ago. So yeah, I mean, the power of what we get to do when we go to those events can like reach way beyond just even the education.
Well, and it's the relationships you build with people that
The
are in a
referrals.
yeah, the referrals have been crazy. Like, it's been awesome.
The ability, like in this case, to be able to turn to this person because one of my agents here had a referral
Yeah.
for a recruit. I'm like, I know absolutely who we need
Yeah.
to go to.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
I
it's
love
easy.
KW.
Yep, love it
I'm a
too.
KW cheerleader.
All right, so business is changing again this year, a little bit different than it has. How are you personally doing? How's the business for you?
This is going to be one of my best years, truthfully. I go back to when I first started. I just put on the blinders. I hear all the negative talking, but I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to continue to do what I've been doing and maybe do it a little bit more, but just still continue to like put my nose to the grind. Kind of not be like ignorant of what the situation is, but like kind of shut out that negative talking because
Yep.
I feel like, there's business for everybody, and why not let me take the business that I need to take to, move forward.
Well, I try to help agents understand that our market shows that there's enough units out there that I haven't met an agent yet that said my goal is bigger than the market is.
Right. Oh yeah, no. There's
So
tons of
then
business
there's
out there.
plenty of opportunity.
Yeah.
Yeah, love it. So what are your plans for say the next 2 to 3 years?
So, I'm getting old.
Nah, stop it. You said that too many times now.
I'm getting a little older. You know what?
I'm not.
You know what? I love my business, and if I had my way, I would continue to do it for a very long time.
Mhm.
But I don't want to do it at the level that I'm doing it at now. So my end goal is like I'm looking at the sunset. Like I'm trying to figure out, and I go back to what happened with my sister last year.
Mhm.
Nothing is promised. Tomorrow is not guaranteed.
Amen.
She had all these plans for her she had just, she had retired before that. She had plans with her grandchildren and her husband and like all these things, and then all of a sudden it's gone. And so I know that life is precious, and I want to have that future with my husband, with my kids, with my family. So I want to eventually like transition. Wesley right now is my admin, my TC. The ultimate goal is for him to be we become a team.
Yeah.
That we get our own little admin and TC that can
Yeah.
do all the stuff, and then he can take over my business.
Love it.
We're kind of transitioning my business name a little bit to another name, so it's not just Consuelo Souders and Company, because
Mhm.
I want him to be recognized as that. So ultimately, long term, it will be for me to transition out several years down the road, but
Mhm.
but the end is in sight. Like, and then him take over and then grow his business. He's been phenomenal. Been so excited to see him grow.
So did you ever think way back then
Mhm.
that you would be building a legacy?
No, I really didn't. I just wanted to make some money and sell some houses and, buy a new purse.
Well, I think you have demonstrated way beyond just selling a few houses and buying a new
Yeah.
purse. Like being able to pass off something to a family
Yeah.
member.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the stuff. That's what I love to see agents create.
yeah,
If that's really what the path they want to be on. I want to respect our time here today and all that. So I'm going to kind of cut us off. At the same time, I would love to do a deeper dive with you
Yeah.
on maybe some future conversations if you're
Yeah,
okay with that.
I would love to.
Because
Yeah.
I'm sure a lot of folks that are going to watch this are going to have a lot of questions for
Yeah.
you.
Yeah,
Maybe we can do like a live event that we'll record, but we'll allow some audience
Yeah.
stuff too.
yeah, because I really have the way that I built my business. I've always called it guerrilla marketing. Like I'm hope for people out there who, I can't, lead generate for 3 to 4 hours a day. That's just not in me. That was never in me. I don't like door knocking. I don't like any of that, but I had ways that I could build my business, and I really feel like a lot of what I did, other people can benefit from that. So I would love to share. I like to
Awesome.
talk.
Well, we'd love to hear more. Thank you so much for spending time with us today.
Yes.
We'll get this video out soon.
Yeah.
And anything I can do for you.
Thank you. Love it.
All right. Appreciate it.
Okay.